Hey folks, Wally DM here, and today our adventuring party begins their adventure by exploring an abandoned farm. Out in the front they see these metal oxen attached to a plow, but something appears to be missing. Now this is going to be a lock and key puzzle that you can put just about anywhere where the characters are traveling to begin your adventure. Now if you'd like to see the written version of this puzzle, you can find it in my original Journal of Puzzle Encounters, but you can also find a full encounter written around this puzzle in the Quintessential Guide to Monster Encounters. Inside this book there's a 4-page encounter that includes the chicken-harpies, which was a monster that I created specifically to run this puzzle. You can pick this up today at Drive-Thru RPG, and the PDF is now at a very low price. I'll put a link in the description below. And if you're a member of my Patreon at the $2 level or higher, I'm also going to provide you with a virtual tabletop map and the tokens so you can run this easily in your online game. But now let's get started and see where we're going with this lock and key puzzle that I like to call No Yoke. So in this puzzle, our adventuring party are brought to an old farm with a couple of broke down buildings. We have an old farmhouse and an old barn. Now at first glance, everything's going to look ordinary, except for the oxen, which are a bit peculiar. When the characters step up and take a look at the oxen, we can read them the following. The oxen are life-size, made of metal, and solid with surface rust. The plow matches the oxen in appearance, and its blades are sunk into the barren ground as if cemented in place forever. Attached to the front of the plow is a thick metal chain that extends 5 feet and lies on the ground between the heads of the metal oxen. Now at the end of this chain is also going to be a shackle that looks like it attaches to something. A character can make a DC 12 intelligence investigation check to be able to determine that something is definitely missing that would connect the chain to the oxen. Now a character taking a closer look at this plow can see that it's attached to this cement boulder that's not going to be able to be pulled up by normal means. And on a DC 16 intelligence investigation or arcana check, they can ascertain that if they could somehow connect the chain to the oxen, then the plow could potentially pull up this rock and reveal whatever's underneath. Now when I ran this puzzle in my game, this was the very first beginning scene, and once they were able to solve the puzzle and pull up this rock, they found a set of stairs that went down into an abandoned laboratory below. And that's what kicked off our adventure. Now the rest of this area is going to be up to you as the game master as to how you describe it to your players, but eventually they're going to need to investigate further. Now when I ran this game, I had this house just a shell as it was burned down, so there wasn't much to investigate over here, but it was the barn that drew the most attention. So if the characters make their way over to the barn, we can read them the following. Ahead of you is a wooden barn with a large pair of doors. One hangs from the hinges, the other swings back and forth gently in the breeze. As you enter the structure, your eyes adjust to the dim light, and you spot a wooden yoke lying on the far side of the straw-covered floor. The barn is packed full of bales of straw, bags of grain, and wooden crates. 2 ladders, one on each side of the barn, rest against the wall and reach into the loft above. Your attention is then drawn to the wooden beam above you that stretches the width of the barn. Perched upon it are 4 small creatures with the torso, arms, and head of a halfling, but the lower body, wings, and talons of a large chicken. A prominent, red fleshy comb jiggles above their curly strawberry rose hair as they tilt their head from side to side. They begin to cluck in unison, creating an off-cadence melody that is awful to hear. So opening the barn door, the characters are going to alert the chicken-harpies. Now this is a unique monster that can be found in the Quintessential Guide to Monster Encounters, but if you don't want to use the chicken-harpies, then you could use a regular harpy. And perhaps when the characters are taking a look at the oxen or maybe the farmhouse, then the harpies could start to sing, luring them inside the barn. However, chicken harpies are a bit different than a normal harpy, as their clucking song is absolutely terrible. Chicken harpies use their clucking song ability not to draw adventurers into their doom, but to chase them away. Now this is up to you as a game master as to how you want to run combat in this scenario, or if you even want to run combat. You could just have this as a place where the characters come into and they search around and find what they need. So with everything that's been presented, how would you activate the oxen to be able to reveal the secret passage below? I'll give you a minute if you'd like to figure it out. Did you get it? Great, let's go over the answer. So for those of you that are familiar, this is what's called a lock and key puzzle. Our oxen that are on the outside are attached to a plow, and if this plow were to be able to move forward, it would reveal a secret passage that goes underground. The oxen present themselves as the lock. Now the key can be found inside the barn, and that is going to be the missing yoke. Now the harpies or the chicken harpies that the characters are fighting on the inside simply provides another encounter for them during your game. As previously mentioned, you don't exactly need a combat encounter, but it really fits well here. Now once combat is over, the characters can search the barn, and chicken harpies are well known for collecting things. And in fact, in the quintessential guide to urban encounters, you're going to find a massive chicken harpy loot table that you could use to reward your characters. Some of my favorite items on the loot table that have a little bit of an Easter egg or a secret meaning include a stainless steel tankard with the name Grandad on the side, a silver tin with peppermints on the inside, a silver tube with a chicken head that dispenses tiny tart candies, and a silver owl pendant with 2 tiny ruby eyes. The characters can also find silver pieces, gold pieces, and with that a lot of different shiny toys, tools, mundane household items, but they're also going to find inside here an old metal yoke. And that yoke is going to match the oxen that are outside. So once combat with the harpies are over, if the characters take the yoke and they attach it to the oxen, then the yoke is going to release some arcane magic, activating the oxen. They're going to surge forward, pulling the plow, and the plow is going to pull up the large lid or boulder that is blocking the secret entrance to underground. The characters can then descend below and continue on with their adventure. So that's all I have for you today. What did you think of the puzzle? Is it something that you could use in your game? And if so, what would you do differently? And if you have the quintessential guide to monster encounters, what do you think of the chicken harpies and their clucking song? Personally, I love this monster and I find them hilarious. Be sure to leave a comment below. Thank you very much for watching, and on to the next.